I'm going to ask you a random question first, just for shits and giggles.
Good.
I'm going to start doing this on all of them actually. What is your favourite song of all time with lyrics?
That is really difficult to answer.
You have to pick one. You have no choice.
Massive music fan.
Okay.
So depends on my mood, depends on the change. My favourite album of all time.
No, don't go album. Tell me your song. I'm going to be strict with you on this.
All right, I'm going to go with a song. So the song I'm going to go with is Lounge Act by Nirvana, which featured on the album Nevermind. Yeah.
How does it go? Sing me a tune.
Now you're putting me
I
on
want
the
to see if
spot,
I know
aren't
it. Go on.
It's the one that starts with the bass. It goes truth covered in security. I can let you smother me like you, but it couldn't work.
I don't know if I know that one.
Jaded enough for taking turns. Never mind the album. Go back, listen to it. It's on the second side.
Oh, okay.
It's not a single.
I was going to join in with the lyrics, but I don't know them, so I just had to do the head bob instead.
Anything with a good bass intro is always a good song.
Good bass, yeah. Oh, I agree. Give me the bass.
Can I do favourite album now?
You can if you really want to, don't you?
I do.
Tell me your favourite album.
My favourite album just never changes, and that is an album called Rice Boy Sleeps by John C. and Alex. John C. being the lead singer from Sigur Rós. You aware of Sigur Rós?
No.
So Sigur Rós did, remember Earth, the documentary of David Attenborough, and it had this tune called Hoppy Polar in it, which was the theme tune, which became a Christmas #1 in this country. That was theirs.
Bloody hell. That's a very, very particular choice. Yeah.
But yeah, that album is great. There's no lyrics to it. It's just drone instrumental.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Ah.
Good to have on in the background when you work.
I'm going to have to look that up now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to introduce you now.
Okay.
So in the studio today, we have Justin J.R. Park, that's your author name, basically,
is, yeah.
J.R. Park, of the horror variety. So you do horror and gore novels. Thriller, horror, gore, that kind of thing.
Yes.
I mean, I've read your titles of your books, so
Yep.
It's very horror orientated, isn't it?
Yes, they're all horror written under J.R. Park. I have released a poetry book under Justin Park, which is why I have the separation. J.R. Park horror, Justin Park poetry.
Oh, so Justin is for the nice floaty stuff, and then J.R. Park is for the if you want to be grossed out and that kind of thing. So you're known for books such as Mad Dog, Terabyte, Beheaded, and Death Dreams in the Dark.
Yes.
I've noticed you've got really good ratings on your books as well. Like you seem to have like a lot of like 8, 9 out of 10s, but then you've got some 10 out of 10s as well. Mm-hmm. You've got like 4.9/5 star ratings on your books as well. So
yeah, it's nice.
They're obviously highly rated and enjoyed by many people of weird taste. Would you say that's weird taste?
No, good taste.
Good taste.
Good
books.
taste.
Yeah. So, and you're also a horror filmmaker.
I am.
I will talk about that in the podcast. So, yeah, we'll touch on that. I did watch one of your short film teasers, or is it a feature film teaser for what's it called? Passover.
The fake trailers.
A fake trailer for Passover.
Yes.
I thought that was really cool. I'll talk to you about the film anyway.
Yep.
But yeah. So we're going to kick off with your novels first of all.
Yep. Okay.
That's how we'll start. Can you share a bit about your background and what inspired you to be a writer in the first place?
Yeah, I can. I mean, I have always wanted to write. Ever since I was a kid, I used to write stories. I still have my primary school exercise books, which I used to have every year. I'd have multiple of them because I'd fill them up. And interestingly, the first story which is recorded in the first exercise book when I was about 8, maybe, was basically, because when you're a kid, you retell other stories, you kind of regurgitate, don't you?
Yeah, you do, yeah.
So the first one was a strange retelling of the music video of Michael Jackson's Thriller.
That sounds amazing.
Bearing in mind that I was 8 when I wrote that.
Yeah.
So why was I watching that in the first place?
That's a weird thing to choose to do as an 8-year-old, isn't it?
Well, and I had this little drawing of the werewolf as well.
Oh, yeah.
In the city. So I mean, from a very young age, I was into writing because I like telling the stories. And so that inspired me to want to do it. So I got better at it.
Yeah.
And then from the horror side of stuff, well, how did I get into that? Well, I've talked about Michael Jackson's Thriller. That was like the kind of, I think for my generation, it was like the Velvet Underground of horror, right? People that watched that watched it quite young because it was a music video. Oh, go on, kids, watch this. There's some singing and dancing.
I saw it young.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But there's werewolves going like full on changes
Yeah.
and like zombies going around and stuff. So it was proper scary, right?
It's pretty impressive though.
Scarred us, but in a good way, because then we all went on to love it.
Yeah.
That, and the other bit about that is there's a menagerie of horror there as well. It's not just there's a werewolf, it's there's a werewolf and there's zombies. And that was something that I always kind of picked up. So that, there was another one called a film, Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I've not heard of that.
It's an old black and white comedy film, but it uses the universal horror characters. So Abbott and Costello, they're a comedy duo, but they've got to fight Frankenstein. There's Dracula in there, and the Wolfman's in there. The Invisible Man makes an appearance in the end.
All the main guys.
So, all of this amalgamation of it's a genre, and this was the first time where I realised horror isn't just these stories. There's a genre to it, and there's like a bunch of different stuff that can all come together, and that's very much influenced me. So when you look at my books, my stories are very much, well, I'm going to take this element here and this element here and this element here and smash them together and see what I get. So that's my biggest influence, I think.
So you are basically influenced on pretty much the basics of horror then.
Oh, yes.
It's the basics of horror, but then obviously it forms something a lot bigger than that. You just take that and then create your own little world, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. So this could be quite a dark question.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. What role has your personal life or experiences played in shaping your writing? Has your personal life affected your writing?
I mean, absolutely it does. So, I mean, if I talk about Terabyte's probably a good one, right? So why did I start writing horror in the first place? Like, in terms of why did I write a book and release it? Where did that come from? So all the way back, I loved writing, I loved horror. I went to university and studied it. And then after that, I gave up writing for 10 years. And then it was through a huge relationship ending. It really hurt me and I was in a really bad place. And so I sought comfort, and that comfort was in my childhood love of horror.
Okay.
So I went back to that and of writing. And so writing can be a very insular thing. So I could sit there by myself, I could plan this, and then I could write it and effectively lick my wounds whilst I'm doing it. Now, Terabyte in itself, it's about a deadly computer virus that can kill us, right?
Yeah.
So, but what is it really about? What's the text underneath? Well, what that's actually about is the book is about grieving. It's about loss, and it's about overcoming that loss and the different ways of trying to do it.
Okay.
And that's what goes on. So the main character loses their love along the line, and then throughout the book, they're grieving through it, and everyone else is trying to work their way around it as we get to the end. And that was literally me coming to terms with my own grieving my relationship.
It was like your therapy then, was it?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. It's a good outlet, isn't it? You're basically immersing yourself in your own little world. You don't have to think about what's going on around you.
Nope.
At the time you're thinking about what you're writing, you're not thinking about anything else.
No,
so
and you can't help, but when you're writing, it's such an insular thing. You're reaching inside. You will always be influenced by what is happening to you emotionally around at that time. That's always going to come out in the writing. If you stop and look back, anything that you create, you can go, oh, I was going through that at that time, and that's how that went in. And Terabyte is a very clear example if you read the emotional story that's going through it.
We're going to end up talking about Terabyte as well, aren't we?
Yes.
Going to get into that. Okay, so let's talk about your writing process.
Okay.
Are you someone who outlines meticulously, or do you dive straight in and discover the story as you go?
So that's an age-old question I hear quite a lot. A lot of writers get asked that question and talk about it. And it's an interesting one because ultimately they call it, are you a plotter or are you a pantser? Do you plot meticulously or do you write by the seat of your pants and make it up as you go along?
Oh, is that what the pants means?
That's what the pants means, yeah. But really, and I'll come to answer the question, I sound like a politician here, but really it doesn't matter whether you plan meticulously or you just write, just bring it all out and go. What you're effectively doing is trying to create that first draft.
Yeah.
The importance is going back and editing it into the second draft, into the third draft, because as you write, you will change stuff anyway.
Yeah.
And you need to think about, well, am I seeding all the right plot devices throughout it? Are the themes being presented in the right way? All of that stuff needs to be baked back into the start and throughout in your second draft.
Yeah.
That's the importance. The worst thing, and I've read many books where I know the person has made it up as they've gone along, and they haven't gone back and fixed and added the thoughts they've had near the start into the end. So you've got no foreshadowing. Something suddenly happens at the end. Oh, where did they find that?
It doesn't loop back around, basically. Yeah. I suppose you get ideas as you go through it as well. So you might get to the end of the story and then something could connect to something you haven't yet written in the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. And so with that approach, I do it in various different ways. My first few, I very much planned because I'd never done it before. I didn't want to waste my time, if that made sense.
Yeah.
So I started with a small plot and then I outlined it to a point where I had every chapter with it was almost like a splurge of what's going to happen, boom, 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 boom. And then from that, I could go down and just focus on the chapter. And that was great. As I got later into writing other books, those plans aren't necessarily as in depth.
Yeah.
They're a lot more kind of loose, but then there's a lot more attention paid into the second edit when it goes through.
Yeah.
Effectively, to start with, you're putting the sand in the sandcastle, you turn it over. Once you take it off, now you've got to craft it all to make it look nice.
Yeah, fix it.
Yep.
Get rid of those little holy bits that have fallen off.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about what happens to sandcastles when you turn them over now. You always get a little edge that falls off and you're like, fuck.
Oh, I've become an expert now living in Barry, so down by the beach almost every day. There we go, let's get a sandcastle done.
What's it like living in Barry? Is it inspirational for a writer to live in Barry?
Well, bearing in mind that my second book was Punch. Punch is based on a seaside town out of season.
Oh yeah, like Barry.
And I have a fascination for seaside towns out of season. That kind of the what would be the glitz and the glamour of all the lights and all that stuff, but then it's in the rain and it looks all grimy and it's just not quite right. There's
something quite odd about seaside towns when they're out of season.
Yeah, absolutely.
They turn into a little bit like ghost towns, don't they? Yeah. And like everything looks a little bit
everything's unnatural because it's not in its right place.
Yeah.
So it's perfect for spooky stuff.
Odd would be the word.
Uncanny.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so how do you strike a balance between character development and plot momentum?
So plot momentum is key. Your books need to be pacey, or at least my books do. I want someone to be able to sit there, read it, and not want to put it down.
Yeah.
So that is very much a big one. The plot, the character development should fall out naturally within that. So I don't really see it as being a huge. You're not balancing one over the other. It's not action over development because character development and what's going on within them is integral to the actual plot itself, and that can be as pacey as a car chase or a big fight.
Like it's not a big deal.
No. Exactly.
Although sometimes, I mean, I've read books in the past where like character development has been so long drawn out, the backstory behind the character, that I've kind of like lost what the story's about a little bit because they've gone so much into detail that you're like, oh, can we now go back into the story because it's a little bit lagging?
Yeah, and that's where editing needs to kind of kick in, that you need to be able to. So, I will write, and I write very leanly. Leanly, that's the word.
Leanly. I like the word leanly.
So, I'm a writer, make up my own words. But yeah, so I will write very much getting the basic plot out. When I come back, I add to it. There's a lot of people which will go the other way. They will do the character development, put a load of that in, and then come in and cut
it down
as it goes through. It's just different sort of methods. But my books are very much designed to be enjoyable, quick reads without getting
straight
bogged
to the
down.
point. Yeah, that's cool. So let's talk about Terabyte.
Let's talk about Terabyte.
I know you're going to love this question.
Go on.
The novel's central theme revolves around the dangers of technology
yes.
in a world where we rely so heavily on digital devices. Do you see Terabyte as a cautionary tale?
So do I see? Yes, I suppose I do. I mean, when I wrote it, because I wrote that book in 2013, and I probably had the idea in about 2010. I remember being at work, and it was like, oh, beware, viruses on the computer. And you're like, well, what if a virus was actually like a virus that could kill you?
Yeah.
That was the idea. But through that, I kind of seeded the stuff at the time of things like, how we can be tracked and traced easily via technology. And that's all kind of brought into it. And our growing reliance on technology that, has been getting more and more. So all those messages are perhaps hit harder and harder as we go through the years.
Because a lot's changed since you wrote it.
Yeah. And I was
even in the last few months.
Yeah, I was very clear to make sure when I wrote it not to be too hung up on the tech side of stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you get specific on tech side of stuff, it dates it really quickly.
Yes.
So I made sure that wasn't, and most stuff I put in it was kind of ludicrous because it was fun. It's supposed to be a gory pulp horror novel. Leave your brain at the door and have a good laugh at this. But seeded underneath there is that warning: tech, be careful.
Give me something really gory from that novel.
Everything. I mean,
everything.
The opening chapter was like, I needed to go, how am I going to start my writing career?
Yeah.
So opening chapter. Can we swear here?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
Opening chapter. There's fucking in a cupboard and everybody dies. And that's literally how the opening chapter starts, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
Why not?
Cupboard fucking in death.
And then, go straight in there.
And then but it was me to kind of set up all right, I'm going to be a horror writer. Let's set my stall out right from the start. So yeah. And what happens in it, there's ridiculous stuff like the computers will create high-pitched noises which cause ears to bleed.
Okay, yeah.
Like, flashes which cause people to then start to like fit and vomit. And
vomit
then they
blood,
can't stop vomiting, so then they start asphyxiating because of it. And it's just messy and gory. And if you like that sort of thing, then fun.
It sounds like a roller coaster of not emotions, actually. Just...
roller coaster of bodily fluids.
There we go.
Yes.
I knew there was a right term for it. I couldn't find it. Okay, so how do you go about researching the tech elements in Terabyte to make them both plausible and terrifying?
Did I? No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. That was the point, right? The point was I wanted to set off writing a pulp horror novel, right? Thinking about like Guy N. Smith and his career. Now, Guy N. Smith was a horror writer in the 70s and 80s. He wrote Night of the Crabs about giant crabs coming onto Barmouth Beach and eating everybody, right? Brilliant.
That sounds amazing.
It is great.
Yeah.
Huge fans out there for it as well. And so when it came to writing this, I wasn't really researching the tech. I did a lot of research for the book, but it wasn't really based around tech stuff. It was mainly more around police equipment and police procedurals and that sort of thing, because I wanted to get that right.
Yeah.
But the tech stuff, as a general rule, was me just kind of, making it very fantastical.
Yeah.
Because if I started to research, like I said, I got too specific, it got dated very quickly. So I wanted to stay away from that.
And you're taken away from the fun kind of element of it then, aren't you?
Yeah.
Don't get too hung up on the specifics.
No.
As long as it's a good read, that's the main thing.
That's the point of this book.
Yeah.
That is the point. It takes itself a little bit tongue-in-cheek as it goes through as well. And very knowingly, just a bit of fun, right?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Take you out of monotonous everyday life. Put your head in a book like that, you're fine. Okay, moving on to Beheaded.
Yes.
That had some good reviews on there. So it's got a very different vibe to Terabyte. Can you talk about what inspired the story and how it developed over time?
So Beheaded is a real crown and the jewel of my writing CV, because Beheaded was... So I mentioned Guy N. Smith, big pulp horror author.
Yeah.
Of the 70s and 80s. Beheaded is a joint work with him, and it was his last work he ever wrote.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was a big piece.
That's cool.
How that happened was I'd met him at a convention, his convention he used to hold at his house.
Yeah.
I've been a horror fan. We started chatting, and then I used to run my own publishing company, the Sinister Horror Company. And he was looking for a publisher to put some of his newer work, some of his older works out. So we started talking, and then we struck up a business deal, and then we worked together. So Guy would ring me every week, just on the phone as a bit of a catch up, see how we were. And over lockdown, back in 2020, we would still continue to do that, but we weren't really doing a lot. So I remember walking one day and said, do you fancy writing a story together? He said, yeah. I thought it would be a short story. So I said, will you send me over a short story? I'll take a look at it. And what I'll do is I will then expand on it, right? I'll add some more to it, and then we'll go back and forth like that a couple of times.
Yeah.
See where we go.
Just sharing your ideas. And,
So he had a short story never been published called Beheaded. He sent it over to me. I then sort of added more to it, sent it back to him. He added some more. we kind of worked out this kind of this breakdown of how it was going to work as a story. And there was bits where it would be very much him, bits where it would be very much me, and bits where I'd write a bit, he would write over it, I'd write out, like that.
Yeah.
So I went backwards and forwards till we got near the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember it was coming up to Christmas, I think, and I was writing it. And as I was writing, I was thinking to myself, I was just finishing off doing some edits, and I heard that you go for it. And I heard that a guy had gone into hospital. This is Christmas around 2020, and he hadn't been very well, really not very well, rushed in it seriously. So I finished off a little bit, the last little bit I wanted to do on the last few lines of Beheaded, and then I left it. And the next day we got the news that he passed away. So after that, I put the book down and I never looked at it again. I then formatted it, got the cover for it, released it about a year later. But it was important to me that it stayed as a time capture as to where it was.
Okay,
and that was the point. So it became a bit of a tribute to him and his storytelling as well as everything else. So that's
really nice.
It's a really important book for me. One I'm proud to have worked on with him.
That's nice. Yeah. Fucking hell. It's like a little, it's a memorial. It's like a memorial?
Yes,
like a memorial.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice that I got to share that moment with him as well.
Should we get deep?
How deep are we going to go?
Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. The horror genre often taps into fears of mortality and violence.
Yep.
How do you approach writing such visceral and graphic content without alienating your audience? Or do you want to alienate them?
No, you don't want to alienate them. But you also know that, right, so my audience is like me. I write for me because there's a lot of people out there like me, right?
I can imagine.
We enjoy horror.
Yeah.
And we love a good bit of gore.
Yeah.
Right? So we want to get downright disgusting. Can I make myself wince when I'm doing stuff? Can I make my eyes water? Can I make myself go, bleh? If I can do that, brilliant.
Do you do that to yourself? Do you make yourself while you're writing, like go,
Or sometimes there'll be something so dark that it leaves me cold.
Okay, yeah.
The end of Punch, which I won't go into. I remember when I first came out with that, I got goosebumps of like, what is wrong with you?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
But then when I write things like Upon Waking is really nasty.
Yeah.
Really nasty. Because Upon Waking is all about... So a slasher movie, normally big hulking guy running around, slashing up and gutting and doing really horrible, graphically gory things to pretty young girls, right? Mm-hmm. What if you just reverse that around? Big hulking woman running around, slashing up and cutting open and generally being violent to pretty young men.
Yeah.
That's what I did. So all of the stuff that's happened to women over the times in horror movies, I went, right, let's do the same to the guy.
Twist it around.
Yeah. Let's get horrific.
Is it really the kind of thing that makes guys go, oh
yeah. Legs crossed.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Even if I see something like that and I don't have a knob, like obviously, it does make me cross my legs. Even if it's like some sort of like gory violence on a guy, and I'm like, oh.
Well, yeah. And I mean, when I was writing this, I didn't know if there was a market for it. I didn't know extreme horror was a thing. I just kept pushing myself more and more.
Yeah.
Put it out there, and everyone loved it. So it was fine. Scream magazine turned around and said, my mind must have been the darkest. My imagination must be the darkest in the universe. And I was like,
that's a really good compliment, really, isn't it?
Yep,
it had the effect you wanted it. Cool.
I mean, the weirder and sicker they think I am, the
happier
the better it
you
is,
are.
isn't it? Because it means it's got a reaction, and that's what you're trying to do with horror.
Oh yeah.
So you can't alienate people. Your audience wants to see it. That's what they kind of pay the money for. It's really interesting, though. I can do loads of stuff, but if I stick an animal death in there, everyone throws their arms up in the air.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So when the dog gets killed in Punch, no spoiler because he was only there for a second, but the dog gets blatted, and like everyone's like, "That's sick."
That's all it takes.
That's what I want you to hate that character, right?
Yeah.
And so I do loads of things, and one of them is kill an animal. That'll really annoy everybody, and it does.
One thing that will make me turn a film on, and it'll piss me off, if they kill an animal in a film I'm watching, I'll go, I am not watching this fucking film anymore. That's pissed me off. They didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
I will stop the film and I will refuse to watch it and be like, you're bastards. I hate you for making me see that. So I agree.
I really want to tell you about a film where something like that happens, but it kind of then says the end. All I want to say is, have you ever seen the film Ms. 45 by Abel Ferrell, the guy who did Driller Killer?
I've seen Driller Killer.
Right, go check out Miss 45. It's a vigilante action.
There is animal death in there. See, I won't watch it now.
No. All I want to say is watch it. Just watch it. Just watch it.
Okay.
Watch it to the end.
Am I going to hate you for that?
No.
I don't trust you. Especially after what you're saying. Okay. Your works often explore dark themes such as identity, fear, and societal breakdown. What draws you to these particular themes?
Because they're horror, aren't they? Right.
To be fair, that is a horrific thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different. I'd say it's really hard for me to pinpoint what my themes generally are. I mean, those things are definitely used, especially in a lot of my short stories, for sure. But then, post-apocalyptic is great. It's a great setting to do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But when I talked about, horror being a genre, a menagerie of animals and things going on, and I like to just take elements and bolt them together. So I'm always trying to what's the next thing? What can I look over here? What can I do over there? And I've got a list of genre tropes, almost like different areas of that's what I want to touch on next.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do next. I want to do a werewolf film always, because Michael Jackson's Thriller, werewolf.
Yeah,
it's my first thing. So that's why I did Mad Dog.
Oh, okay, Mad Dog's got that's the one with it's got 10 out of 10 reviews, I think, on that one.
Yeah, a lot of
so that one's a popular one.
Yeah, a lot of people really like that one. If it weren't for COVID, I almost it was almost talked about making a film into it.
Yeah,
but they wanted to film it in, I think, Mexico or somewhere like that, and then COVID kicked in suddenly.
What was it? Mad Dog they wanted to turn to a film. Yeah. Oh, okay. So basically it was like one of those things where your novel could be taken, if people like it enough, your novel could be bought out by a film production company.
Yeah.
I bet you would love that though, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I've had money for options before. So options is where they'll say, okay, we like your film, we're going to give you some money. So for a set period of time, usually a year, maybe 2, it means that we have the option to make a movie out of it. Nobody else can come in and reserve that right for it and pay.
They reserved it.
Yeah. And then you see this a lot with in the book industry. You'll get money for option, and then for whatever reason it doesn't then come to fruition. That comes to the end, and then you get the rights back, and you've made some money for doing absolutely nothing.
That's nice. Winning either way.
Yeah. Got a nice shiny Mac because of that.
Have you? Oh,
yes,
really?
I do, yes.
Oh.
That's how I edit my movies.
Of course he has. Okay, so the horror and thriller genres have seen a resurgence in recent years. I mean, they've always been popular, really, haven't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Do you think the genre has evolved, and where do you see it going in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it has. I mean, you always get different phases, right? Currently, at the moment, it's very much there is a mainstream acceptance again of horror. A24, I think, is perhaps a good company. I mean, Blumhouse was there kind of beforehand, but A24 gave it the this is very clever.
Clever horror.
Yeah. Elevated horror is the term you hear people being used. But,
elevated horror?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well,
I haven't heard that term.
It's like artistic, thoughtful horror. Is the idea.
Okay.
But, I like them all, right? I like stuff like that. I also like grimy, crazy 80s influenced horror, right?
Just basic slasher movies.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's, A24 very much, Midsummer, that kind of sort of stuff. Great stuff. And that's all. The critics and audiences love those. But then also we've seen like Terrifier 3 did absolutely phenomenal in the cinema.
Yeah.
And that's sick, in the greatest way in terms of gore.
That is sick, isn't it?
Story-wise, bit thin, but people aren't going in for a story on that one. They're going in to watch some horrible special effects, aren't they?
It's so they can watch and go, oh, and then laugh, but then also be grossed out at the same time.
Absolutely.
Like they appreciate how horrible and gross it is.
But the fact that there's extreme horror like that in mainstream cinema making money is fantastic.
Well, yeah.
So you've got both those elements, and there's a lot of really good horror that's come out as of late. So it is in a good, healthy state, I think, at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Are there any books or movies that have had a lasting impact on you, either as a fan of horror thrillers or as a writer?
Yeah, whole bunch. So the first horror book I ever read was a book called Slime by William Essex. Don't know who that is.
Slime.
So it's like a Blob kind of thing, right?
I love the Blob.
I love the Blob.
Yeah.
You ever seen The Stuff?
Yes.
Right?
I have.
Awesome. So I like that kind of like the gooey pile of monster thing, right?
It's something that's a pile of goo that kills people.
Yeah, just kind of slimes around. Like I love all that stuff. So, and that was perhaps because that was the first horror book I read. You know, it was passed around school, and page 82 was the sex scene, right? You know, that'll be the one you
it's one of those. Yeah,
absolutely. So proper. I've got a copy of it at home.
Yeah.
So that was a real big one for me. Do you remember the Fighting Fantasy books, Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone?
No, I don't remember that.
They were the Choose Your Own Adventure books in the 80s, right? Most of them based around fantasy worlds. They did one called The House of Hell, which is based around it, just like in modern day, in like this haunted house that you end up in.
Yeah.
Huge, big fan of that one. That really influenced me. And Clive Barker's Cabal, which then became Nightbreed, the film. Massive. That's the book I've read probably the most in my life. I go back and reread it every couple of years.
Yeah.
Wonderful ideas, wonderful prose. And it's Barker's prose, which I think really kind of inspired me initially to go, hey, you know, you can make grimy pulp style stuff, but in an artistic way.
Yeah.
And if I'm starting to write again, to reset my own brain, because when you read anything, it kind of informs your voice.
Yeah.
And I need to kind of set that all off, so I want to get back to my own voice. What I do is I pick up a well-thumbed copy of Clive Barker's Weave World, and I read a couple of pages of that.
Does that reset you?
That resets me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like having having a spoon of, what is it? Is it watermelon sorbet in between?
Yeah, exactly,
meals.
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking about, do you?
If you read a book, you'll come into it and you'll start writing. Well, I do. I start writing like that person, like that voice. So I need to reset it, and that one somehow brings me back to my core, and then I can.
Okay, I'm going to go to looking ahead now.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Okay.
I'm going to ignore that last question there. That's fine. What's next for J.R. Park? Justin, do you have any upcoming projects or books that you're working on? So it's your chance to just...
Yes. So I stopped writing for a little bit and really kind of went into movie making, which we discussed briefly. And then, but what I've recently done is I've recently gone through all my back catalogue, made sure they're all available again. And only this week I've just released a very rare book, which was the first idea I had for a story, which I then wrote a couple of years back and only released about 10 copies of it. A book. Now I can say its name, wow. So this is it.
Okay.
So it's TEAR.
Tear.
Or
tear.
Right. So.
Oh, so what we interpret what it is?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you haven't decided what it is?
No, that's the word. And
okay.
So it could be tear, could be tear. And it plays with that in front of the book.
I was going to say, does the context explain the title?
No. But it explains in the book it could be either or, right?
Yeah.
So because horror is about crying and violence, right? Okay. So
don't you just love the English language?
Yeah, absolutely.
The way it's written.
But that one I've just made available on Amazon this week. For the first time widespread. So that's good. So I'm slowly getting back into the writing stuff again from that.
Yeah.
I say Punch is a book which I wrote, like a slasher style one based on Punch and Judy. That was always designed to be a trilogy, which I have mapped out. So I really want to write that.
Oh, so that's coming then?
Well, I want to write it before I die, so I best get on with it, right?
Yeah, you need to crack on. You haven't got long left.
Thanks. What do you know?
Well, you don't know, do you?
Well, exactly. That, and a lot of my time is very much spent at the moment on film work.
Yeah.
So writing films.
I was going to say, tell me about your film work.
So we started doing films because I met another author called Matt Shaw. And then he started to produce films under Purgatory Pictures, and I came along on the first one for it, and he's not got rid of me. So I've been there ever since.
He hasn't got rid of you, has he?
And through it all, we've made it up. We've worked out how to make films, basically. We've worked out using project management skills and organisation, which I drag him through. And then in terms of equipment and stuff as well.
I know how you work because I've worked with you
many a time
on a few films.
Yes.
How many films have we worked together on? We've done
So you did Next Door.
On.
You did Next Door.
Oh, I did Next Door. I was just acting in that though, wasn't I?
So you did Next Door.
Yeah.
We did They Came.
They Came from the Sky. I saw them.
Yeah. You did Box. The Call. And Chained.
The Ring. No, that's The Call.
The Call. So that's 5, and there's a bunch of shorts and stuff that was kind of...
And then a few little shorts,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Yes, we've worked together quite a bit.
We have.
And in terms of, because you you were more doing stuff in terms of like producing with Matt Shaw, weren't you?
Yeah.
And you were also involved heavily in the sound aspect of it, so recording sound. But then more recently, you've been directing your own films. You've been cameraman as well.
Yep.
So cinematographer, DP.
Yeah.
So you have actually started doing a lot more in the film than you used to.
Yes.
As in, like, you're now more of a filmmaker than behind the scenes of film.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, it's the same with the books. It's, I want to do this, so we work it out. With a book, from start to finish, idea to end product, I can do it all, cover, editing, format, and film, nearly there, got most of it in place. And now it's kind of just honing and understanding that. But it's a book is a very cheap way of doing it, right, in terms of the fact that you sit there by yourself and you can just type out, but it's also quite insular, it's you, whereas a film is, as you know, is way more chaotic, but also the rewards are so much fun, and the process is exhilarating because you're all in there together and you've got to try and do this, stuff goes wrong, how do I get around it? It's just so much fun. It's like a really hard work party almost, right? That's
what's really nice about really low budget filmmaking, is you have a really good time. It's not really that stressful. Organising it is stressful and but it's nowhere near as stressful as if you suddenly have budgets and At least you can have a bit more fun with independent zero budget filmmaking, and you can have a laugh.
It's the working around the problems, isn't it? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? Well, let's all kind of work it together. So, you know, I started off with from ADing in production side stuff, and then it was like, well, we're getting problems with sound. Well, let's get some equipment and work it out. I love music. I understand sound just as a general principle.
I'll be the sound guy.
Guy. So work that out. Then from there went on and went, camera seems fun, doesn't it? That was nerve-wracking. Really nerve-wracking trying to do that because, it's just such a big piece, isn't it?
It's a big responsibility, isn't it? Yeah.
And it was so new to me. But then I started to do that, and we've been working on a film called Patchwork over this year. Where I've been the main camera for that. And I just walked into it, and like of everything, just give it a go and we'll just work it out. You get your basics and then you start doing it. And, you know, we're looking at the film and I'm like, I did it right there. I did it right.
It's looking good from what I've seen.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So it's and then editing, right? The editing is the other side of it. Once you've got the equipment, you just go down and have a go. You learn from doing, right? And that's just what I do.
Yeah.
So end-to-end process, yes, filmmaker, very much enjoying it. Very much want to get my own full feature out. Yeah. You've seen my fake trailers, etc., which I've made, and there's a couple of shorts, but I want to do full feature. That's the next plan.
Yeah, that's the next goal. You have to do a lot of planning for that.
Oh, yes.
Or just go with it. I'm going to do quick 5 questions now because we've got, 4 minutes left?
Yes.
Quick answers only.
Okay.
Please. I'll scold you for not answering quickly. Right, give me this in a sentence. It might be difficult. What's the most disgusting or horrific thing you've written?
It's the scene where... there's 2. There's 3.
Just give me one.
Just give you one. Okay, there's the scene where the woman goes down between a guy's legs, bites his bollocks off, and then sticks them from her mouth into his in a French kiss.
Brilliant. That's all I need. Zombies or ghosts?
Ghosts.
Murder weapon of choice?
Pool cue.
Oh, pool cue. Ow.
Up the ass.
Like up the ass?
Up the ass. Keep
so
going,
it comes out the other end?
Keep going.
Ooh. Jesus Christ. Okay, lastly, horror writers often have interesting tastes when it comes to personal fears. Do you have any fears that you're willing to admit to the audience? Be honest.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I used to have a massive, I think it's called thanophobia. It's a fear of death. But like, I used to think about it, and it used to literally make me like get up like out of my bed or sat down and pace around the room. Like absolutely freak me out. Yeah. Still occasionally might happen, but it used to really drive me wild. I guess I get close to death. I get more tired, so I'm kind of prepared for it.
Is it almost like you're worried that some freak accident might happen?
No, it's just to be dead.
Just to be dead?
Just to be dead.
Jesus.
Just to infinitely not exist.
That's a horrible thing to have a phobia of.
Yeah.
Thinking you're going to just dying. Yeah. And Yeah, I like that. It's a dark note to end on. It's great. I think let's finish it there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, cool. All right, thanks for coming in, and we may have you in again to chat more about horror and film and stuff as you progress, and you might have a feature film to talk about next time.
Oh, we hope so.
Which would be lovely. Yeah, cool. All right.
Thank you.
Let's turn to camera, point at it really cheesily, and say thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.